Hey Brian, Mark Baker here in my virtual lesson studio in Orange County, California. I've got your notes and I got your videos, got them downloaded, watched them quite a bit. So the first thing I notice is your average, 230. Then I watch your videos, definitely understand why I average 230. The thing I want to point out, which helped me with the lesson, was your self-analysis, your timing. Through the two different shots you throw, one I really think is the best shot, and one's not quite as good, and your timing is different on those. So we're going to focus on that. And also look at all the things that you're really good at, just to keep those in your game and just make some minor tweaks. So that one shot I really like, you can do that more and more often and get that 230 to maybe 235, 240. Big number, but you got a lot of talent. Let's get to the videos. Okay, Brian, here I have you queued up from the back. Let's go ahead and play this at full speed. There we go. So we get the shot here. Not bad. You got it right a little bit early. Obviously comes up for a solid 4. Let's watch that again. So the first thing I do when I look at any bowler, especially when I see your average, I've got to measure your footwork. Your footwork might be actually not the power. Your footwork is really good. Here we go. First step's nice and straight. Obviously, you spent some time at a bowling center. That's a really nice pivot, crossover step. And what I really like is your third step goes straight. It doesn't dive in. Too many bowlers have a good crossover and their third step bleeds in. Your third step goes dead straight. That's going to give you a giant window to get your pivot step way on the inside of your head. And then your slide is almost on the exact same board. So it allows your hand not to turn early. You see your hand right in the middle of the ball, and you turn it right at the end of your toe. You lose a little video there, but look at your elbow come up underneath. Very good. If I was going to critique the back, because you are 230, I thought that shot missed right early. The only thing I think is when you get here, sometimes your push away may get a little offline. Your crossover step is perfect, so you could actually push the ball a little bit more inside your target line, wherever you're aiming at. Your ball, I think you're still bowling on wood here, so it might be a little different. But most centers, 6, 7, 8, between 42 and 45 feet is the spot you want to get the ball to. You happen to get the ball to the spot a little bit early, and all that's caused is by here. So if I get to the top right here, and I draw a line from the middle of the ball through your hand, through your swing, you're just aiming offline a little bit. I don't need your swing to be straight. I would just like to see you maybe push it, because you've got a giant window. And the more you push it to the right, the more it's going to cause your body to lean to the right a little bit. So the more you push it right, the more it's going to get tilted there. All that can happen is sometimes you get too open with your swing. Your mind is trying to throw it here, but your body, as your swing reroutes it. See how good your belt buckle is there. The ability to keep your belt buckle and your swing plane aiming at your break point determines how accurate you are. I just think maybe you blow your hips open a little bit early on that one. I see the belt buckle is aiming more this way, so then your ball follows the belt buckle. So I see the ball getting to the spot. That's about 6, 7 board at about 35 feet. And it's picking up too soon. That ball's actually going in an angle too steep. That ball's not rolling through the pins quite right. No big deal. That's all I see from the back. Your footwork is excellent. I would just try to get your push away a little more in front of you. Not much, maybe a board or two. So you're not quite so open on the top of your swing. Doesn't really come into play when you get to play deep. If you got to play on a pattern, or you got to play in the fresh, or you got to play right at 12, that might come into play. Other than that, I like your footwork. Now let's do the work and go to the side. Okay, Brian, here I have you queued up from the side. Let's go ahead and play this. This is the shot I like the best. And I will tell you exactly why, and then I'm going to compare them. That shot's dead perfect. I can tell because you throw it, you're in complete balance. And when people just take a step back, that usually means the ball's pretty flush. Right here, watch you throw it. Your arm comes down, you're watching the ball. And the first thing you take is that step back. That's the universal sign. That was a pretty good shot. Let me break this down. Here's what I'm a big believer in. So right here, first step. See how your stance. See, look here. So your head is completely on top of your foot. So if you and I are having a conversation back here somewhere in the bowling center in the settee, that's how you and I would talk to each other, with our head on top of our hips. I'm a big believer in the first 2 steps, even 3 with the really talented players, is your head and your feet should stay balanced. The longer you stay balanced in the first 3 steps, much easier to stay balanced in your slide. Let's check it out. Boom. Balance. More importantly, right there. This is such a good position here. So now you're not going to tilt forward until your head hits on top of your third step. That's what Bill O'Neill's really good at. Your ball's kind of in the same place his is. The pivot step drops onto your head. I measure timing. When your slide foot gets flat in front of your head, I think the swing should be parallel to the floor. There. That's what I think perfect timing is. Your foot is flat in front of your head, and your swing is parallel to the floor. That's going to be able to maintain. You can measure this a couple different ways, but without even looking at it, if I just measure your lateral, your side spine tilt here. All right, 50 degrees. Anything between 25, 55 is good. Watch this. I don't really have to draw the line again at your release point. Are you seeing that? This is why timing is so important. There's your timing spot. The less amount your upper body moves, the more consistent your release point is. How the ball actually comes off your hand. That's the reason why you can average 230. Boom. Look at it. Comes off right at the end of your toe, and your spine may be moved. I mean, if I want to get really critical. But it's going to be less than that 5-degree window everybody has. So if it's less than 5 degrees, it doesn't matter. Well, it's actually fairly parallel. It moved 1 degree. Never change that. That's something to build your game on. But that's all happening because of that. All right, now let's take a look at the 3/4 view. All right, here we go. Queued up. We're going to play at full speed. That one you're a little bit forward. You still throw it. Okay. We're going to use the same measuring places we measured from the dead side. I love your first step. Look how good this is. You ready? Boom, boom. All right, keep paying attention here. But this one, push away gets a little more extended. Now your second step hits, and look where your head is. Quite a bit in front. Now look at your third step. It's a whole different look of a bowler. The ball's in the same spot. You tilted earlier. You tilted before the ball got there. Now look. Now I'm sure it might be a little perspective of the film, of the camera, but that's a big difference. We're going to put them together in a second. Pivot step's a little short of your head, not quite underneath. Here's where it happens. There's your timing spot. Okay, so now let's do this. See here, if we bring it back, look at the difference in your head here. This is where the timing is in the second step. All right, there. This push away looks a lot different. See, I got your feet to match in the back. Head is behind your second step. Here, any way you want to measure it, your head's in front. Your swing doesn't seem to be as far there. There's your tilt onto your third step. Ball's in the same place. Here you tilt early. See, you've already tilted way more here than you ever tilted here. So where's your head in your third step there? The ball's actually in front of your knee. That means you got to pull it up. So I'm trying to measure your feet. I've got your feet exactly in the same spot. This ball's in front. This ball's side. Head's in front. Head's on top. Pivot step's a little short. Watch this. Pivot step catches it completely. Swings are in the same spot. What happens? You pull it up, so you pull it down. So when your foot gets flat in front of your head, you're there. There. I've got both your shots where you're pushing off on your toe. Look at the difference in your swing right here. Look at that, Brian. That's perfect. That's about a half ball early. At the level you're at, that's a big number. That would be, that's just for a guy that averages 230, this is that 1 or 2 shots a game that you don't like. These are the shots you love. These are the 1 or 2 that creep in after a 4-bagger, the one that doesn't make sense. You throw 4 or 5 shots really good, and then you throw a shot that makes no sense whatsoever. I think it's right there. It's hard to see here. I think this one came off better. Right there is your release point. I think this one comes off later, and there's more shoulder involved. See, it's not coming off at the end of your toe. Pretty close. I think you're more in front on that one. See how high you are up here? Let's go back to the original. No, that's the wrong one. I got the wrong one up there. There we go. A little more balance. Okay, so that's what I see. This is what I think you should work on all the time. I think this is what we're working on here. I see it right there compared to this one. I see that one where you get in front. Your push weight gets a little more out front of you. Head gets in front there. I think these are 2 different shots. I think that's the place you want to be. because it creates that. Your spine tilt was almost perfect. Release point was great. That's what you should work on. Let's do a quick recap. Okay, Brian, excellent video taking. I wish all my students had their videos exactly where you did, and your notes, perfect. Tell me where to look. So I think we can make some progress here. So the recap is, from the back, I would just worry about that push away maybe getting a little too offline when you play in. You don't want to feed the ball to the right too soon, and your belt buckle spins open at the bottom of your swing. So your body's facing a little more open than what your mind's trying to throw it. That'll cause that shot to miss left because your hips open up too soon. Your hand's going to come over the top to get it back online. That could be the miss left. More importantly, the timing. Your self-analysis was correct. One shot you had perfect timing. One shot you're about a half ball late. At the average you're at your skill set, we got to get rid of that shot where you're early. If you notice, and that one from the side I really like, how well you balance yourself in the first 3 steps. So I think the fix is you got to stay a little taller in that second step, keep that head on top of it, and when that ball goes by, you tilt on your 3rd step. Everything else stays the same. I think you'll see great results. Brian, really enjoyed your videos. I'll talk to you real soon.